Buying a home can be a very exciting experience, and a lot of people kind of jump the gun when it comes to looking for homes. They think that looking for a house is the first step. So I wanted to cover today some of the home buying things that you need to know about. This is a checklist for home buying. The first and most important item is to figure out how much you really can afford. You should calculate your monthly income and then subtract the debt from it. Now keep in mind that this debt will include things like your car note, travel to and from work, the utilities that it will take for your home. You need to consider all the different things that are going to be debt for you as you own your home. Now, in order to start the process, you'll need to get your credit report. You'll need to get a FICO score. What this tells the lender is how reliable you are as a purchaser and how what your ability is to pay if you've had a good experience and shown a good track record on how you pay your bills. In order to do that, you can go to any one of these three credit reporting bureaus, and they can give you a report that shows what your FICO score is. Once you know that, you need to figure out your down payment. Now, there were many loans given at one time that had 100% financing, but nowadays it's getting very hard to find that, and most loans require at least some down payment. Now, FHA requires a 3% down, but there are certain requirements for getting an FHA loan. In order to find out those items, you really need to speak to a lender about what's required for FHA, because you will have to fall within a certain income bracket in order to be qualified for that. Now, if you fall into a higher income bracket, you can go conventional, but it will require about 20% down. There used to be loans that gave you 100% financing for conventional, but since things have changed in our market, we are not seeing those nowadays. So generally a conventional loan is going to require 20% or close to that. Now, VA is a Veterans Administration loan. This requires no down payment, but you must be a veteran to qualify. Now, getting pre-approved for a loan is not being qualified for one. You have to understand the difference between being pre-approved and pre-qualified. Pre-qualified basically just looks at the income that you make and minuses out the debt that you have and kind of basically says, okay, you make enough money to possibly buy a house. But getting pre-approved goes into more aspects of your credit history. It's going to look at your FICO score, and it's going to look at how much of a down payment you have and such. So you need to choose the type of mortgage that you're going to be needing, and you need to talk to a lender about this. You need to speak to at least 3 different lenders and mortgage brokers. I would recommend that you talk to 3 lenders and you decide which one has the most programs available for you and the one that you feel most comfortable with. You have to have a loan officer who's really looking out for your needs, not their own. And you need to shop for the best interest rates and the best programs that are out there. Every mortgage company is going to have something a little different, but they're all going to have kind of the general same guidelines and some of the same programs, but some of them look at it differently. They may have different interest rates. So you really need to shop at least 3 lenders, maybe more. Now, one word of warning. When you are talking to these lenders, you should know your FICO score already, and you should not let them pull your credit until you are ready to go ahead and move forward. So when you're talking to these lenders, let them know what your FICO score is, and then as soon as you choose one, then you'll be willing to have them pull your credit for the loan. But refuse to allow them to do that beforehand, because that will affect your credit score. Now, the next thing you need to do is to determine what you want and need in a home. You need to think about what location you want to be in. Do you want to be downtown? Do you want to be in an urban or suburban or rural area? Are you looking for something that's just a small lot to not have to mow a lot of grass? Or are you looking for something that has acreage? Maybe you need a home that has handicapped accessibility. That's very important also. You need to choose the type of home that you're looking for. You know, some people would look for a single home, family home, or you need a townhome or a condo or a loft. And those are pretty easy to determine depending on the size of your situation. If you have a family that needs a size house, or if you're maybe a single person or just a couple that just needs more of a condo or a townhome. Now, it's important to choose a price range, and that's going to be determined basically by, first of all, thinking about how much you can afford, and then checking with the lender to see what you're pre-approved for. And then you need to decide what you're going to be most comfortable spending. Just because a lender pre-approves you for a certain amount does not mean that that's the amount that you need to go after. If you feel that a couple $100 a month less would make you live more comfortably and have the lifestyle that you really want, then you need to consider that that's the price range you need to be in. And also you need to determine if size is a factor for you and your situation. Another thing you need to do is research your target neighborhoods. You need to look for information that's online, like schools. You may or may not need schools, but it is important to know if you're going to be in a good school system, because even if you don't have children and you go to sell, the next person that purchases may have a family and needs schools. You also need to look at crime rate, of course, and the traffic and zoning that are going to be affecting that home and that area. And also determine how you want to commute to work. Do you mind an hour drive, or are you looking for something that's not too far away from work? Now, scout your local amenities such as parks and shops and restaurants. You want to check those things out because those are going to be important to you once you move in. You're going to want to make sure that the area really gives you the things that you're looking for in the type of style of life that you have. Now, most importantly, you need to work with an agent who knows your area and the neighborhoods that you're looking at. Get referrals. Talk to your friends. Talk to people who live in the neighborhoods that you want to be in. You need to look for experience and also good chemistry. How do you feel when you speak to an agent? How do you feel that they are, what their purpose is, if they're listening to you, if they're really looking out for what's best for your needs, or if they're trying to sell you something that they have listed or push you to an area that you really don't want to be in. Now, make sure that they also do real estate as a full-time business. I cannot express to you enough how important this is. A full-time agent is going to know the area thoroughly, is going to be a specialist in the area. A part-time agent is not going to be able to give you the experience and the knowledge that a full-time agent will give you. So it's very important that you find a full-time agent who runs this as a business and work with them, because they're going to help you through the process the best way possible. Now, if you'd like more buyer tips, please enter your email address to the right and you will be sent the next video.